Hi. I just came from watching The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I feel like I need to talk about it because there's a lot to unpack and I need to get it out of my head and I don't have anyone to talk to about. But fair warning, 100% going spoilers. If you haven't read the books, or just how the movie went, like I'm saying everything because I need to get it out of my head. Um, Overall, I think the movie was really well done. I left feeling like, oh, this is a really good movie. But at the same time, I've also read the book. So I feel like it did a really good comparison to the books. Like I feel like what was written on the pages you saw on the screen. I don't know what other people would think if they hadn't read the books and going into it watching it. I don't know if it would feel like very slow or fast paced. I know there was a couple slow moments just as it was in the books. Like not gonna lie, the books were a little bit slow, but overall it was really good. I think I'm the type of person that really likes the politics aspect of it and just the idea of like what is moral, what isn't, what is good, what is evil. And I feel like that's what really drew me to the books. Also, I love the trilogy, Hunger Games trilogy. But the movie, I feel like the acting was good. The songs were amazing. One thing that I feel like I personally wish they had more of was like the politics. I feel like because the movie, not the movie, because the book is in Snow's head and it's his own like internal monologues, you can't really show that on the big screen. I feel like they tried, but there was just moments where I was just like, oh dang, like it was different in the books. Snow was much more crazy. Like this I wish we could see more of that without it being just like a whole bunch of dialogue and just like blurting it all out. For example, one thing that like really this is so out of order. Like I have no script. I'm just speaking. But towards the end, no, actually, no, no. Listen, I really like the books, okay? Can someone I need someone to tell me, okay? Because when I finished reading the books and at the end, when Lucy Gray, right? They're trying to escape from District 12, right? Coriolanus and Lucy Gray, they're trying to escape. And Corio accidentally says, "Oh, I've killed three people," and she goes, "Three people? Like who are the three people?" Right? And he was like, "Oh, just this, and myself." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I just thought like she was suspicious, but she didn't think anything of it. And then later when she says, "Oh, I'm gonna go like look for Katniss so we can eat whatever," and she leaves, I was just like, "Okay, cool." She's just going to look for Katniss. Like I didn't think she was being like suspicious or anything like that. Like I didn't feel like she was like wary about anything, right? And then what I love about that part is like when Snow just descends into evil. Like what are you doing? Like he just starts thinking that like, oh, what if she's against me? Oh, what if she's this? Oh, should I kill her? What did that? And I'm just like, and the funny thing is she didn't say nothing. She said nothing. So the whole time he was in the forest looking for her and like trying to kill her and whatever, whatever. In my head, I genuinely was like, I feel like she's just in the forest, like being Katniss, and she's too far away to hear you. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you screaming like that? Like, are you okay? And then after a while, when he starts shooting, I was like, okay, yeah, she's trying to get away. This is crazy. But I don't feel like her intentions were always to run away. Like when she said she was going to get Katniss, I genuinely felt like she was going to get Katniss. Like I genuinely don't think she was. I didn't feel like she was trying to run away. And the fact that when he finds his mother's scarf or like and then he moves it and he gets bitten by the snake. Anyways, when he gets bitten by the snake and like he starts freaking out, oh my gosh, she's trying to kill me, oh my gosh, she's trying to kill me. And I genuinely read that going, are you an idiot, Snow? Like you she a snake just bit you doesn't mean she did it. Like how did that correlate to her doing that? And I feel like that just added to his delusions and just showed how delusional he was. And after reading that and like seeing other people's reactions and just people's thoughts, I saw that they were thinking that she planned it, like she outsmarted Snape. Well, Snape, Snow. She outsmarted Snow, and to me, I was just like, was that her plan? Because I genuinely think she was just like, just like her her blinkers, like, went off when he said three people, but like she was just like, okay, that's fine, like she's gonna trust him, and when she was gonna get Katniss, she was actually genuinely going to do that, not running away. And then like Snow, after hearing the gunshots and Snow going crazy, that's when she was like, okay, I gotta go, you know what I mean, or like let me just hide and whatever, or until like the Mockingjays started singing and stuff like that, that's when it was like becoming suspicious. But for me, I genuinely was like, Snow, like you're actually delusional. Like, what are you okay? Like she, like even if that was the case, she could be just doing that. So like, what is, anyways? But going turn tying that back to the movie. In the movie, um, it's clear when she asks, when they start talking about like how they both are murderers and like Snow slips up on killing three people, you could see on Lucy Gray's face that like she was hoping that he would like slip up, and like that she caught him in the act, kind of like her face kind of showed that type of emotion. And then later when um Snow finds the guns in the cabin, and she was, and like they end up talking about how Snow was like, he has no loose ends, and Lucy Gray says, except me, and stuff like that. And Snow's like, oh, you're not gonna say anything? She's like, yeah, of course not. Like what? And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna go buy catnip, like go find Katniss, and like all that felt like she knew, and like he knew she knew, and everything. And I feel like I personally didn't like that, because like it was good for the movie. Like I feel like if you've never read it, like it seems good, but I feel like for me, I like how the book did it, because it really showed how, like showed the descent of Snow, and like how like crazy he is, like, and he just, I don't like, anyways, I just feel like what they did in the movie, like it was fine, but it like could have, it didn't have to be that way. I feel like if it was just subtle, so then it was up to our interpretation of whether like she actually knew and like she actually planned it, because I feel like the movie just was telling you like, hey, yeah, she actually knew, like she actually planned it. But I feel like reading the books, I felt like it could have been either one or the other, and she could have just genuinely been fine and just being like, hey, I'm gonna trust you, and Snow went, started going crazy and started like becoming delusional and everything. But in the books, it made it seem like, yeah, he had a reason to. I don't know. But that was one aspect that I was just like, okay, interesting. I also felt like the one thing that they didn't mention was like they didn't really bring up a lot of Maud Ivory and just the Covey in general. I feel like the book was very long, and the movie was like one of the longest movies out of the whole like Hunger Games series. However, I feel like you couldn't fit everything in there. And one thing I liked about the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is that we had a lot of like back story on the Covey, and just like we got to actually interact with like some of the Covey people, especially Maud Ivory. I feel like people who go and watch this movie without reading the book, and I know it's not like confirmed or anything about if Katniss is related to Lucy Gray, but I truly believe that she's not, and she's related to most likely Maud Ivory. And we see those signs in terms of like Maud Ivory being able to sing a tune just by hearing it once. But I don't know. I feel like that's something they didn't mention, and Maud Ivory wasn't really like as important to the story, and that's fine because she isn't in the. She's like she isn't as important in the book, but she's important enough that like you can make connections in that way. And I feel like in the movie you didn't really see that. And I don't know, like me personally, I feel like the books were really well done in the sense where like it was focused on Snow, and it was focused on like his experience during the 10th Hunger Games and like his descent into madness type thing. But then the movie, because we didn't have enough time, we couldn't really like really dive deep into that. And I feel like I really wanted to see like the politics of it all, right? I think that's what really intrigued me about it, and just like that top talking the conversations about like morality and all that stuff that they were having with it in the classrooms. And I feel like we really didn't get a deep dive in that. I feel like that's what the book was about. The book was about questioning humanity, you know what I mean? And I feel like the movie was more centered about the romance, and they did have like parts about humanity when Dr. Gall would be talking in the movies, but it wasn't, I feel like it wasn't fully fleshed out as much as it can be. I feel like it was more focused on like the relationship. I feel like you will leave the movie, like if you haven't read the books, you'll leave the movie like thinking about Lucy Gray and Snow's relationship, right? But less about like, is the Hunger Games moral? And I feel like even with Sejanus, like his outburst would come out of nowhere. I'm like, boy, why are you yelling? Like when he's like, "This is madness," he said something like that. But I was just like, boy, why are you yelling? In the books, you understand, but in the movie, I was just like, what? Sit yourself down. Like what? And I feel like we didn't. I don't know. I feel like we didn't see how crazy each of them can be. You know, like Dr. Gall, she's crazy, but like she's there's more to it, you know what I mean? And we didn't really get to really dive deep into that. And I feel like I mean, you can't really. And like even Snow and how like he's very possessive over Lucy, and the fact that he really only likes her for the power. Like he likes to be in control of her. And when he felt like he wasn't having control, he no longer loved her. Like I was like, what? And I feel like you didn't really see that control. I feel like the movie, like in the book, you can see that Snow had the opportunity to either choose like good or evil, and most of the times he chose like the wrong choice every single time, you know what I mean? Like but he always had that option, and like he always like was like, I feel like sometimes he would be like indifferent to like things that were happening, like the Hunger Games. He was just like indifferent, but at the same time he knew like he was better than everyone. Like he was very prideful and all that stuff. um However, but like you always feel like he had a choice. I feel like in the movie it kind of played it off like he was falling in love with Lucy Gray, and like he wanted to win. He wanted Lucy Gray to win, right? Not to just win the prize, right? And like win the money, but also to like save Lucy, which is true. I don't know. I feel like the movie was good. It was. But there was parts that I wish it delved more into that it didn't. But overall it was good. I don't know. I don't know. I liked it though. I did. Maybe I need to watch it again. I was kind of wishing that I had not read the books first and then watched it, but I don't know. Mm, but yeah, that's all I got. I talked too much, but the song was good. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. So the Hanging Tree, that song is so like this new adaptation, like this new version of it is so good. I love it. Like it gives me chills every time. And I was honestly really hoping that they would they introduced it the way we read it in the books, where like Snow walks in on her like starting the song, but then we don't fully hear it until like she's on stage and she sings it, and then it gets banned, right? But like in the movie they just kind of like do a overlay of it. Yeah, like they just kind of play it over like whatever's happening and the scenes and stuff like that, which was fine, but I feel like I would have wanted to see like them actually playing it, and then like maybe Maud Ivory on the side, like singing along, something like that. But I feel like because in that moment, and you see like everyone's faces like reacting to the words that are coming out her mouth, I think that would have been really cool. I feel like the songs were really good, but you don't really pay attention to the songs, do you? Like when they're singing the Hanging Tree, like we based off the books, right? We know that the Hanging Tree was based off like the actual hangings that happened at the time with like the guy who got accused of like murdering three people and then asking like telling his girlfriend or whatever to run, and then later his girlfriend and Sejanus gets hung and everything. And then that's just like all part of the song. So like we understand the backstory of it, but I feel like if you were just watching the movie you wouldn't know that. I was talking to one of my cousins about it who watched the movie with me, and she genuinely thought like man, they say who murdered three line was about Snow, and I was like, no, 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 not Snow. Like it's actually about like the actual people that got hung, but I could see how she got that. And then even like the story about Lucy Gray, the song about Lucy Gray in the movie, like they're at the lake, Snow and Lucy Gray at the lake, and Lucy's just singing the song. And like, to be honest, I would not be listening to the words of that song. I'll just be listening to her sing and like just watching what's happening. And I think they did like an overlay of it before they got to her like just sitting there singing it. And like I guess they do, she does, like Snow does ask like what happens to her, and she's like, I don't know, she disappeared, like she's aloof, she's this, just like me. So I guess that was um like, giving you a hint to like the ending and everything. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe I just like the details and I just really like the book. And I know you can never put like the details in the book, the details in the movie, but I don't know, I liked it. I was excited to watch it. I love the Hunger Games. Like, I love Snow. Ah, wow. I take the back. I take the back. I feel like you had the opportunity to like Snow. Like there'll be moments you're like, Snow, do the right thing. And then like I would have to remember that, oh wait, he's not a good person. And then he'll do the wrong thing. And I'll be like, yeah, he's not a good person. But the last like chapter where he just goes crazy in the forest. I just remember literally reading that, but like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, are you okay? Anyways, let me stop talking. That was just my initial thoughts on the book and everything else. But yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.